to be a lot of people out there that need our help. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be displaced. And this is yet another disaster that is going to take some time to rebuild.
The scope of the devastation is only beginning to be calculated as people in southeastern Kentucky survey the damage from flooding.
And tonight, concerns grow with even more rain in the forecast.
Live from Lexington, our home, your news. This is Fox 56 News at 10.
Good evening. It's been a devastating day for thousands of people in southeastern Kentucky as entire communities are left underwater.
A state of emergency has been declared and rescue efforts continue in at least 6 counties across the state tonight as some people are still stranded in the floods. At least 8 people have died from these storms and there are still many unaccounted for at this hour. Kentucky's National Guard along with multiple state agencies have been mobilized as this has become an all-hands-on-deck operation.
The flooding has been described as historic in parts of Perry County, where people are used to seeing rivers overflow their banks.
We have team coverage throughout the region, beginning with Bodie Brooks, who was in the Bulin community near Hazard.
Take a closer look behind me. This home, it wasn't here yesterday. The woman who lived here describes a night of absolute terror. The sounds of cracking and splintering through the night as her home was ripped right off its foundations.
Scared to death, like you're going to get sucked up. You're watching a house go. Something you think solid.
It all happened fast. Kelly Price has her neighbors to thank for potentially saving her life.
Woke me up about 1 in the morning. The water was starting to come up over, and we went and moved our vehicles to higher ground.
Amid the chaos, she grabbed what valuables she could and switched the power off, fleeing to her neighbor's trailer.
It wasn't too long after that the house started to move. First boat in, and then it was sort of hung on the electric line, and then the electric line snapped, and there went the house.
She says they were completely surrounded by rushing water, fearing for their lives, unable to reach any help.
911 was busy, and I heard it wasn't even just here. I have a good friend that's in Breathitt County, and she said it was the same issue there.
Inside the home, barely anything survived. The floors are caked in mud.
We stepped in once. It was real slick and uneven, and it was still sitting in somewhat water. We were sort of scared, so we haven't been back in.
Price will now be leaning on the help of her neighbors for a place to stay until she's back on her feet. In Perry County, Bodie Brooks, Fox 56 News.
Rescue crews from across the state and neighboring states are descending on eastern Kentucky to help. Here's a photo of the Tennessee Helicopter Aquatic Rescue Team as it headed to Perry County from Nashville. One of the first things it did was rescue a family who had been on a roof with their dogs surrounded by water. Unfortunately, there are more flood warnings in effect right now, and it could be a long night for people who live near rivers and streams in many counties.
Some of these same areas that were hit last night could be in danger again. Let's get a first look at that forecast from meteorologist David Aldridge. David.
Absolutely, Marvin and Imani, you're spot on, because any additional rain we get is going to be insult upon injury. Take a look. We've got these showers and storms now moving and approaching Lexington and Fayette County. Danville getting some downpours right now. But all these little green boxes, the light ones, include flood warnings that last until 1:30, even in some cases 3 a.m. that could be extended if this rain continues to make things worse. But Fayette County has a flood watch until 4 o'clock tomorrow. Take a look at the estimates here. And again, this is going back 3 days, although most of this occurred in the last 12 to 24 hours. We're looking around 12 inches around Hazard, 12 inches in some places around Breathitt County. A real nightmare, given the fact it's all come down in one short period of time. This is more than a month. That's about twice the month's worth of rain in just a short day's time. Now, compare that. Lexington has only picked up 0.03 of an inch, so you might think, well, what's the fuss? Well, we're now up to 6 inches for the month, but many areas got twice that in just about 12 to 24 hours. Surplus here in Lexington is about 1 1/3 inches. We'll try and make sense of it all, but another 1/2 inch to 1 inch tonight and into tomorrow, with locally higher amounts can be anticipated. We'll be dropping down to about 69 by morning. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, David. Governor Andy Beshear confirms at least 8 people died in the flooding, but he says many people are unaccounted for, and he expects the death toll will go much higher. He also implored people in eastern Kentucky to keep up with the forecast tonight and to take action if they're facing danger.
If the water is close to your house, if you are in a place that floods regularly or with a lot of rain might flood, the ground is really saturated. If you're in these areas or even close to them and you can go stay with somebody else tonight, please do. Last night, most likely we lost people in the middle of the night, maybe even in their sleep. We want you to be safe.
The governor also announced a relief fund to help victims, much like the one that was set up to help Western Kentucky tornado victims in December. You can donate online at teamekykfloodrelieffund.ky.gov. There's a link on our website. Also, if you're missing a loved one in the flood areas, you can call the state police post there at 606-435-6069. That's 606-435-6069. Do not call 911. Governor Beshear plans to fly by helicopter to many of the affected areas tomorrow, including Breathitt County. Many people say they barely escaped their homes there when the warnings came in overnight.
Georgia MacArthur was there to see the damage firsthand.
Hours after I talked to a homeowner who managed to escape his home safely, Michael Holland found himself back in this water again, this time to save his dogs. Parts of the Commonwealth under a state of emergency as floodwaters continue to submerge towns and sweep away homes. Homeowners in Breathitt County face the brunt of it.
I don't know where else to go. I have to try to wait for it to go down. I mean, I ain't got nowhere else to go.
Michael Holland says he had to rush out of his home in an effort to save his own life.
Well, I checked on it last night about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and it like a foot being up at the top of the rear bank down there. I woke up this morning, it was around the side of the house.
And after he got out safely, Holland braved the rising flood waters once again, this time to save his dogs.
See my pants hanging on top of the top rail? They're wet up to past their knees. I went and got these and got them wet a little bit getting back over here.
This scene here in Breathitt County, unfortunately, is familiar for many residents like Holland, who has spent the last year rebuilding.
A year ago, they got in the basement, like 4 steps being up top. I filed for FEMA help and everything. They didn't give me 1 cent. I lost everything in the basement. I had everything upstairs I managed to save.
Now with the water in his basement again, Holland says for the second time, he has to start over.
It's the basement part. It's halfway up in it, which you can see that. And if it raises up 4 to 5 more feet to be upstairs, up in where I live at.
In Breathitt, Georgia MacArthur, Fox 56 News.
Our team coverage of the historic flooding in southeast Kentucky continues in Pike County. Kentucky's easternmost county had more than 5 inches of rain overnight. Nikki Walters shows us how neighbors are helping neighbors there.
It feels really good that we're helping people.
Carly Bartley and her family spent the day cleaning up the mess that Mother Nature left behind. But not at their own house, at the home of their neighbor, Lou Hamilton. Lou shares this home with her brother, William. He's bedridden, so early this morning as the water was coming up, a rescue team came in to move him to safety. Now the race is on to get him back home.
It's good. It's good to see a neighborhood pitching in like they are. And, you know, we know that her brother needs to get home this evening. So that's our goal, is to get him a room ready, get him back up here, then we can work in around it.
Lou's home is filled with mud and water right now. Everyone working as fast as they can, helping out like neighbors do.
We're helping her because she's our neighbor, and my mommy and daddy said we have to help her first because her work's like a mess. And then I think we're going to move on to that one over there.
Like, she was in need and she was just working all by herself, so it feels just good to help her to get her house back in the right shape.
To Lou, they are angels, making a heavy job a little lighter.
Well, just about be probably a week, but we need to get our brother back.
Right now, they are still working on cleaning up the house. There is sure a lot of work to be done there and many other places here in the area. Now, there are many things impacted by this historic flooding in southeastern Kentucky. One of those is utilities. The website poweroutages.us says there are more than 25,000 outages across the state. The most outages are in Letcher County. There are also thousands of outages in Perry and Knott counties. Kentucky Power, which has the largest amount of outages in the area, saying it could take several days for power to be restored.
Another impact of the flooding is the loss of water service to several areas. Governor Beshear explained during his midday three-day news conference some of the water loss is because of power outages. Bashir said fixing the problems will have to wait until crews can actually get to the areas that are flooded.
The governor also announced locations of relief shelters for people who have lost their homes to the floods. Those locations include Pine Mountain, Jenny Wiley, and Buckhorn Lake State Parks. Local shelters are also popping up at churches and schools in Perry County, one of the hardest hit areas. Truckloads of supplies, including food and water, are being brought in by the National Guard for those filling these shelters.
Several prominent Kentucky figures weighing in on today's flooding, including Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who said, quote, "My prayers are with families in eastern Kentucky facing heavy floods, mudslides, and power outages this week. My team is in close contact with local officials, and I'm ready to provide any help I can." McConnell went on to thank the first responders who are helping Kentuckians stay safe in the floods.
Still much more to come on Fox 56 News at 10. Coming up, why Lexington Sporting Club is still searching for a place to call home.
Plus, a new airline will be taking off from Bluegrass Airport this fall. Stay with us. We'll tell you where you could be headed next.
The first 10 minutes of Fox 56 News at 10 were brought to you commercial-free. Sponsored by UK Federal Credit Union. As rescuers race to save families from floodwaters, stay with Fox 56 News for continuing coverage and get live alerts on the Fox 56 app as more rain heads for the flooded communities. Stay safe and stay with Fox 56 News, the weather authority.
You don't know about this swing right here. All right, Cash, bring the juice. All right, I'm ready this time.
Benny's better at football. We're better at banking.
Now that's better.
UK Federal Credit Union. It's banking, only better.
Looking for a cost-effective way to build a garage for your car? How about a barn for your hay? Look no further than the experts at Tin Man Metals. Our top-grade products come in all sizes. When it comes to barns, garages, storage buildings, shelters, or even your next home, our highly trained team will be there with you every step of the way. We sell materials to all contractors, resellers, and homeowners for do-it-yourself projects. Give Tin Man Metals a call today. Tin Man Metals, serving all of Kentucky and surrounding states.
Make a community connection with UK Healthcare. Tuesdays on the Fox 56 Morning News, get the latest in family health and wellness from the experts. UK Healthcare. Extraordinary care is right here.
Hit a grand slam at Don Franklin Ford. Drive away today in the all-new Ford F-150 XL Super Crew as low as $47,530, or the all-new 22 Expedition XL as low as $55,620. Start your travels today at Don Franklin Ford.
Always know what's coming your way with the Fox 56 7-day forecast from the Weather Authority. Sponsored by Fayette Heating and Air. This is Fox 56 News with Marvin Bartlett, Imani Payne, and weather with Chris Johnson.
Lexington's newest professional sports team is going back to the drawing board again.
The Lexington Sporting Club announced it will no longer be pursuing land off Newtown Pike for youth recreational fields. It will, however, still go ahead with plans for a 10,000-seat stadium on the farm near I-75. The club said after consulting the mayor, community leaders, and trusted members of the farming community, it decided its proposal for 12 youth soccer fields was not in the best interest of the team or community. It will look for another site for the additional sports fields.
A new airline is coming to Bluegrass Airport in Lexington. Avelo Airlines announcing today that it will begin service out of Bluegrass Airport beginning this fall. The new airline will provide service to two popular Florida locations, Orlando and Tampa. Their first flight is scheduled for October 19th at 6:30 p.m.
A man is dead following a Wednesday night shooting in Lexington.
It happened just before 8 on Victoria Way off of Nicholasville Road. Police say 34-year-old Kendall Berry was shot and died from his injuries at a local hospital. Police do not have any suspects, but they're hoping someone can help. If you have any information, including any door camera footage, contact Lexington Police. A Lexington woman who pleaded guilty to multiple charges, including manslaughter, was sentenced today. In 2019, police say 27-year-old Sequoia Collins was driving drunk when she ran a red light, hit another car, and a child died. 2 others were also hurt. Collins pleaded guilty to manslaughter, 2 counts of assault, wanton endangerment, and DUI. She was sentenced to 20 years in prison.
Lexington police have charged a man they say burglarized Frank's Donuts earlier this week. It happened early Monday morning. 2 people were caught on surveillance cameras forcing their way into the store. The 13-year-old juvenile has been charged with 3rd-degree burglary and 2nd-degree criminal mischief. The other suspect has not been identified.
Plenty more to come. Still ahead, we'll go around the world in 56 seconds.
Including how President Biden feels about the latest economic report.
Well, the temperatures have been on par with what one might expect this time of year. It's just the rainfall continues to be off the chart. We hit 87 degrees at Bluegrass Airport. The record high 104, set back in 1930. More rain now beginning to spread across the area. We'll track it coming up after the break.
You're watching Fox 56 News. Our home, your news.
It's time to get back out and see America again.
And there's no better way than in a hybrid electrified vehicle.
And Toyota's got more than anyone else.
Like this electrified RAV4 hybrid that's more powerful and more fuel efficient.
At 40 mpg, it's got a driving range of 580 miles.
Saving you over $4,000 in fuel costs over the next 5 years.
Now, during Toyota's Electrified Summer, get 1.9 APR financing on a new 22 RAV4.
Toyota, let's go places.
Just like your body, our vitamins, minerals, and herbs are grown from nature. And with all our products and advice, we have something for everything under the sun. All from nature herself. Robert's Health Foods, 1020 Industry Road, Lexington.
All Kentucky driver licensing is moving from circuit clerk offices in every county
to regional offices. And the new regional offices offer more licensing choices than ever before.
Get a driver's license valid for 4 years.
Or 8 years.
Get a real ID.
Or a standard license.
Renew online
or in person.
You can even visit any regional office you'd like. It's next level licensing.
Learn more at drive.ky.gov.
Hit a grand slam at Don Franklin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. During the Make This the Summer event, get 0% for 36 months on select 2022 Jeep models. Or drive away in the all-new 22 Ram 1500 as low as $39,850. Don Franklin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Kentucky's #1 Ram dealer.
Grandma? Up for a road trip? Yeah.
What do you say we pack our things and get out of here? I've been saving all my life just to disappear, and I hold you to that. We could see the world, 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 see the world.
Plan your trip at ohio.org.
We're committed to Central Kentucky. Paul Miller Ford and Paul Miller Mazda don't just have the best quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs right now. We have them always. And to our previous customers, we're saying thank you by giving an additional $500 off your purchase. And with Central Kentucky's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, over 300, you'll definitely find one that's right for you and your family. Get your $500 loyalty discount right now at Paul Miller Ford and Paul Miller Mazda.
Now, your forecast from Fox 56 News, the weather authority.
Well, more locally heavy rainfall is on the way. Sadly, this is the case. A half inch to an inch or more may fall, and that may not have been a headline by itself. But when you take into consideration what we've seen across eastern Kentucky, for example, it can be a nightmare. Let's take a look. Strong storms are also possible during the day tonight and tomorrow, especially. Drier air moves in on Saturday. That's maybe a little ray of sunshine. Given the fact that we've had so much rain, I think we could stand a little bit of a break on Saturday. Here's where we stand in terms of rainfall totals. I kind of gathered it up over the past 3 days. You can see 12 inches in some parts of Perry County, Breathitt County, even toward Knott County. We've got 9.7 around Hyman, almost 8.5 around Whitesburg. It's been a mess. And this is only going to be compounded by the additional rain that's coming. Notice this front. Contrary to the belief that stationary fronts don't move, they can move 5 miles an hour or less. They can drift here or there. And it's become the railroad track for some of these storms to come in, and they're moving in even as I speak. Let me show you some of the totals, because where you see yellow on this map is about 3 inches or more. 3 inches or more where you see some yellow. Not everybody shows up as yellow. Some shows up as red west of Monticello, but there could be some streaks. That's why I say a ½ inch to an inch is average, but some might get locally higher amounts. Models do not handle slow-moving stationary systems. Just doesn't. And in fact, you can see the issue for isolated severe storms, primarily Lexington, points south during the day on Friday. Right now, we're at 79. We were up to earlier today. We got up to 87. It's 77 in Mount Sterling, Moorhead, and Flemingsburg at this particular moment. Tomorrow, I'm expecting the higher chance of rain to be in the morning, and then it'll trail off to about 40 to 20% for the second half of the day. So we'll get up to about 83 by 3 o'clock, which is still cooler than today's 87. But again, more insult upon injury. Look at this, 11:30, as this continues to slide in around E-Town, into London, into McKee and Jackson. This is 4 o'clock in the morning. This is a long night, another crazy night for parts of eastern Kentucky. Take my word for it. You need to stay in tune because these conditions can change rapidly. Even if they've receded a little bit today, you're going to add more to, insult upon injury. Here we go to 6 a.m. Here's 8 o'clock in the morning. Most of it's toward Hazard, McKee, and working its way through Harlan County. Then some pop-ups behind the front takes you into 4 o'clock. We got some showers in Madison County, perhaps around Danville, and back toward maybe, say, Hazard at that time. And it'll slowly get out of here, and it'll find a new home further south and east of here. But at least Saturday looks pretty good. Sunshine returns, maybe a mix of sun and clouds, but I don't expect rain to be an issue on your Saturday. So tonight, down to 69, flooding possible. Put that on the top line for a reason. Flooding possible, if not likely, when you get another ½ inch to an inch or more. Showers and storms, precipitation chance tonight, 80%. Tomorrow, we'll drop it down to about 60% during the afternoon, 83 showers and storms with some hazy sun. High temperatures, 83 Frankfort, 80 in Jackson Hazard, 79 in Moorhead. As we look at your Fox 56 7-day forecast, outside the camera view of our station here at Chevy Chase Plaza, sunny clouds, 84 Saturday, then more storms come back Sunday, Monday. But if you like it hot, we're back into the low 90s by mid next week. But that's next week's issue. We got to get through tonight and tomorrow. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, David. President Biden sounds off on a new economic report, and the Mega Millions jackpot passes $1 billion.
Those stories and more as we go around the world in 56. A human rights group says they filed a legal complaint against the Saudi Crown Prince. The Washington-based group called on French authorities to open a criminal investigation of the Crown Prince for the 2018 killing of U.S.-based Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The call comes as the Crown Prince visits France.
President Biden says the U.S. economy is in good shape despite a negative economic report. Biden held a meeting with corporate CEOs to discuss economic conditions. Earlier in the day, a new economic report indicated the economy has contracted for a second straight quarter, setting off fears the United States is entering a recession, a word the president has avoided using.
The House passed what's being referred to as the CHIPS bill. It's bipartisan legislation to boost U.S. competitiveness with China. It earmarks billions of dollars towards manufacturing semiconductors here in the United States. The bill passed in the House by a vote of 243 to 187.
The Mega Millions jackpot will be more than $1 billion for Friday's drawing. It's only the fourth time the game has topped $1 billion. The record Mega Millions jackpot was $1.5 billion back in 2018. What about the odds of winning? They're actually always 1 in 302.5 million, no matter how high the prize.
All right, when we come back, your first look at sports, we're going to talk about the Kentucky Wildcats getting ready for that Bahamas trip, what the coaches are saying ahead of that big trip.
Tomorrow, wake up with the Fox 56 Morning News, the only news that stays local from 5 to 9.
Fox 56 launched a 6:30 newscast.
Thanks for joining us.
And you chose to stay local with us.
Now, Fox 56 is expanding again because you deserve a choice at 7.
Fox 56 News at 6:30 and 7, weeknights. Fox 56, the Weather Authority, is sponsored by Fayette Heating and Air, committed to providing safe, professional, and courteous service to every customer every time. Fayette Heating and Air is your one-stop solution for your HVAC and plumbing needs.
Friday and Saturday only at Ashley's Black Friday and July Midnight Madness. Buy one, get one 50% off store-wide. Buy this leather sofa, get the matching love seat half off. 10 a.m. to midnight Friday and Saturday only at Ashley.
Cronin Hyundai has an epic summer hit for you. Shop our large selection of new Hyundais at CroninHyundai.com. With our fuel-efficient lineup, you can save over $100 per month in gas. Don't just dream it, drive it. Only at Cronin Hyundai.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we only serve those who honorably serve. All ranks, all branches, and their eligible family members. Yep, that is exclusive, and we're fine with that.
It's 2022. Is it time for a new slogan?
How about in a wreck with a rig?
Call the hammer. They won't seem so big.
Ready for a win? The hammer is in.
Hit by a minivan? The hammer is your man.
Ooh. In a wreck with bus, will count on us.
I've got one. Insurance company offering scraps. The hammer's got your back.
Can't work because of your wreck?
The hammer will fight to get you a check.
In a wreck? Call 877-ALL-7s or WeWin.com.
Slip and fall?
It's still one call, that's all.
Hit a grand slam at Don Franklin Nissan in Glasgow. Get select 22 Nissan models, starting as low as $22,535. Hurry in and score big today at Don Franklin Lexington Nissan.
Don't miss Ashley's Black Friday and July Midnight Madness. 10 a.m. to midnight Friday and Saturday only. Buy one, get one half off store-wide. Or get 0% interest for 5 years with no minimum purchase and no down payment. 2 days only at Ashley.
Twins can be as opposite as day and night.
I'm Cindy Lauper. And I'm Carl Sagan.
Young Sheldon, next at 11 on Fox 56. Now, Fox 56 Sports.
Once again, Kentucky is rallying together to try and help our neighbors in need. This time in eastern and southeastern Kentucky after flooding overnight, and much like the team did and is still doing for those affected by the western Kentucky tornadoes back in December. Ahead, UK men's hoops coach Don Calipari tweeting out this afternoon that he's sending his prayers to the eastern part of the state. He also says that he'll be getting together with the team to figure out how to help the community. It's bigger than basketball. Now, the team is still working out this summer together ahead of their Bahamas trip coming up in a couple of weeks. We've heard from the veterans how focused this group is. Today, we got to talk with some of the assistants next to Coach Calipari on the bench. The one takeaway from listening to them today is that everyone is adding to their game to help this team reach another level.
There's a group of guys that are first in the gym, but Jacob's one of them. Chris is one of them. Guys are doing it differently, you know, but there's a group that goes at 7 in the morning. We call that the Breakfast Club. So we have about 4 or 5 that have been in that group. So I guess those are the first guys, the Breakfast Club guys. So
it's one of the best meals of the day. To whom much is given, much is expected, and that's the case for Jacob Toppin this summer. He's challenged himself, and the coaches are as well. He wants to expand his outside game, and that's what he's been working on this summer, but the coaches also want him to remember to bang down low in the post.
We're going to demand a lot out of him, and, he's extended his range out to 3, and he can make it, but we're asking him not to fall in love with the 3. Like the 3, but love getting into that paint and getting to the free throw line, putting pressure on the opposing team's defense.
In about 20 minutes, we've got an inspirational story on a Lexington Catholic bowler who is headed to San Diego to compete in some games that mean more than just the final outcome. Guys?
All right, Mitch, thank you. Well, cleanup is just beginning after a devastating day in eastern Kentucky. Coming up, our team coverage from eastern Kentucky continues.
Here today, we sat down with Governor Andy Beshear. His message for Kentuckians dealing with flooding just ahead.
Scan the QR code on your screen now and download the Fox 56 News app. Sponsored by Absolute Services.
Hit a grand slam at Don Franklin Hyundai. Drive away in the all-new 22 Santa Fe SE starting at $32,582. Or the 23 Palisade starting as low as $38,670. Start your summer at Kentucky's #1 Hyundai dealer today.
So why do people keep coming to Burke Furniture right here in Lexington? Because Burke has everything you'll need for your home. With a huge selection of bedrooms, dining rooms, recliners, even mattresses. And most items are in stock and ready to be delivered. Combine that with the best service around and you've got every reason you need to shop Burt Furniture. Plus, right now, 0% financing is available. Are you still sitting there and not on your way here? Well, I guess you can come tomorrow. A beautiful home begins at Burke's.
Celebrate Hats Off to Kentucky's Horse Industry Day, Saturday, July 30th at the Kentucky Horse Park. A fun afternoon of free activities including pony rides for children, horse rides for adults, an exciting show jumping competition, and much more. Thanks to Central Bank, admission is free.
For 45 years now, Ford F-Series has had the #1 position locked up. And during the summer sales event at your local Ford dealer, you can lock down a great deal thanks to this limited time offer. When you pre-order a 2023 F-150 at your local Ford store, you can lock in 2.9% financing for 60 months. So no matter what interest rates do, you're locked in. For the best deals on America's best-selling trucks, visit your local Ford store today, where there's always more in store.
It's gonna be a cold one today.
You can say that again. Finding this time to get your hot shower in, it might be time for a new water heater. Won't be long now before that ice water hits ya. Let the crew at Don Hauer switch the track with a brand new water heater. Guaranteed to turn that shake into a bake for as low as $25 a month.
The experts at Tin Man Metals have you covered. Our top-grade products come in all sizes, and our highly trained team will be there with you every step of the way. We sell materials to all contractors, resellers, and homeowners for do-it-yourself projects. Tin Man Metals, serving all of Kentucky and surrounding states.
New spicy batter dip fish, only at Captain D's. It's hot news. Our famous batter dip fish just got really hot with fiery spices in our legendary batter. Get ready for bold new flavors when the Captain is coming. Captain D's.
Hit a grand slam at Don Franklin Chevrolet. Get 0% for 60 months on the all-new 22 Chevy Equinox. Or take advantage of 2.49% on the all-new Chevy Silverado 1500 with 0 payments for 90 days. Find new roads this summer at Don Franklin Chevrolet.
Twins can be as opposite as day and night.
I'm Cindy Lauper. And I'm Carl Sagan.
Young Sheldon, next at 11 on Fox 56. Judge Judy, weekdays at 5. Live from Lexington, our home, your news. This is Fox 56 News at 10:30.
Welcome back. We are continuing our coverage of today's flooding in eastern Kentucky.
Our Tyler Melito was in Jackson as the community reflects on what the last 24 hours have brought.
The general emotion among residents here in Breathitt County has been one of shock following the recent flooding that has transpired over the last few days.
I just want to leave. I would have already been gone if it wasn't for my daughter, Adriana.
This is not the first time people in Jackson have seen flooding like this, with similar floods taking place in March of 2021. To see the community go through this again, have some like Kenny Neese heartbroken.
It's a great big loss to lose everything that you got, and then a year later, about a year and a half later, to lose everything you got again.
Neese says now serves as an opportunity for not only the people of Breathitt County, but for all of eastern Kentucky to rally together and help one another.
Yeah, I guess that's just human. Just if you got compassion for people, that's what you want to do, just go help them all you can.
But now Neese knows the people of Breathitt County and all of eastern Kentucky will rally together and help one another.
I'm a taxpayer, and I like to see people helped. I don't care if the government can do whatever they want to, but I believe that people need help. They need help, no matter what their situation.
In Breathitt County, Tyler Melito, Fox 56 News.
The flooding has been described as historic in parts of Perry County, where people are used to seeing rivers overflow their banks. That's where we find our Bodie Brooks with more.
This is the sound of a long recovery. In Perry County, neighbors coming together to clear the trees that didn't fall on this bridge, but floated onto it.
About 3 this morning, it was kind of covering the bridge. And by 5 o'clock this morning, we couldn't see our roads. I mean, as far as you could see both ways, we couldn't see any form of road.
Christy Davis was lucky enough for her home to be spared, but the one across the street was at one point underwater.
Thank you, Bert, for waking me up, buddy.
For Trent Mullins, he's counting himself lucky his home is elevated about 6 feet above the roadway. The water came right to his porch.
About 3:30, dogs were barking and going crazy, and
I got up, looked out the window, and I had about 2.5 feet of water in my front yard here. It was a solid lake from here to the mountain, probably 100 yards across.
The receding waters giving way to now drivable roads tell the story. Debris everywhere. A massive trailer washed into this stream. This abandoned car filled with mud and leaves. Neighbors helping neighbors as they now clean up and rebuild.
There's actually a police officer here in town. They paid their house off 2 days ago, and now it's gone. There's been people stuck. I mean, it's been really, really scary.
In Perry County, Bodie Brooks, Fox 56 News.
And this is what the cleanup process looks like for residents in Pike County. Many of the roads are covered in debris, some with large chunks of concrete coming off. Pike County EMS says it's had to do more than a dozen water rescues. People who have lived there their entire lives say they've never seen flooding this devastating.
Honestly, I don't think you ever think that you're going to experience it. Like, I've lived here for about 20 years. And you never think this is going to happen to you, but we woke up this morning, seeing on Facebook all of our families flooded, like our house, our homes are flooded. It's pretty crazy.
Residents will continue to wade through the waters into the night as they pick up the pieces.
The governor said today people were being rescued from off of their roofs and from trees as the floodwaters hit. The Kentucky National Guard is leading the rescue effort. It's also getting helicopter help from both the National Guards in West Virginia and Tennessee.
What we're striving to do is get ahead of this. So with the governor and I speaking is provide more resources, not just waiting until there's an incident or an event that requires some sort of response to it, but pushing resources to the impacted area that we can be even more responsive than we currently are.
The Lexington Fire Department is also helping with the rescue effort. It's sending in extra boats to help.
In an interview with Fox 56 tonight, Governor Andy Beshear calling the floods and the lives lost devastating. He says 8 lives have been lost so far, that number expected to rise into the double digits. The governor saying Kentucky remains under a state of emergency tonight as crews continue to face challenges on the rescue and recovery front, with so many people still unreachable and roads impassable. He says following December's deadly tornadoes and the Floyd County ambush, the situation just adds to a tough couple of months for the state.
This will go down as one of the most devastating, deadliest flooding events that we have seen. Now, I wish I could understand the why we've been hit so hard, but I will tell you, we see God in the response. We see people that are risking their own lives to help other people, and we can do the same. Just like in every one of these we've faced, let's open our hearts and our homes to one another.
And for ways to help those struggling, visit our website. That's fox56news.com.
More coverage of today's devastating storms when we come back.
Hear from displaced families after a historic day of flooding.
On the go? Stream Fox 56 News live on your phone and watch wherever you are. Rescuers race to save families from floodwaters. Stay with Fox 56 News for continuing coverage and get live alerts on the Fox 56 app as more rain heads for the flooded communities. Stay safe and stay with Fox 56 News, the weather authority.
Lexington's Crave Food and Music Festival is back, July 30th and 31st at Masterson Station Park. Over 40 food restaurants, chefs, food trucks, craft beer and cocktails, kids stuff, a car show, and 10 musical acts performing over 2 days. Get discounted pre-sale packages at cravelexington.com.
Hit a grand slam at Don Franklin Lexington Buick GMC. Get 0% APR for 36 months on select new 22 GMC Acadia and GMC Terrain models, or on select all-new 22 Buick SUV models. Don Franklin Lexington Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Aleve X. Its revolutionary rollerball design delivers fast, powerful, long-lasting pain relief. Aleve it and see what's possible.
Heavy-duty pulling power. To conquer the high road or the off-road. The GMC Sierra Heavy Duty. Premium and capable. Sierra heavy-duty models are arriving weekly at your local GMC dealers. Available for immediate delivery with 0% financing.
Fish and chips is a British thing. But Southern Hush Puppy breaded fish strips with fries, that can only be Arby's, Governor. Arby's, we have the meat.
Ready to update and refresh your home? Come to Corvin's Furniture and Flooring, but bring your walking shoes. With over 5 million square feet of flooring in stock and ready to be delivered, we guarantee you will find what you're looking for and at the best prices. You can shop from our vast selection of carpet, hardwood, laminate, tile, and waterproof vinyl plank in one visit. We have the largest selection of flooring in stock in the state. Visit our showrooms in Bardstown and now in Lexington. Corvin's has your home covered.
Hit a grand slam at Don Franklin Nissan in Glasgow. Get select 22 Nissan models, starting as low as $22,535. Hurry in and score big today at Don Franklin Lexington Nissan.
Lexington's Crave Food and Music Festival is back, July 30th and 31st at Masterson Station Park. Over 40 food restaurants, chefs, food trucks, craft beer and cocktails, kids stuff, a car show, and 10 musical acts performing over 2 days. Get discounted pre-sale packages at cravelexington.com.
Twins can be as opposite as wrong and right.
Sheldon, do you really have to do that here?
I drew a ladybug.
Young Sheldon, next at 11 on Fox 56.
Breathitt County is one of several counties waiting for the water to go down.
Danielle Miskell continues our team coverage. She spoke with families whose homes were destroyed by the flash flooding.
This is a world beater.
Homeowner Archie Combs says he's been up since 4 a.m. That's when the National Weather Service sent out a flash flood warning.
Went down and the river level was perhaps 15 feet less than what it is now. So we immediately, being experienced with this kind of thing, we immediately began to move a lot of valuable items, and I don't think we moved them quite high enough in the garage.
You can see all the items he saved and the ones he couldn't get to in time.
Oh, there's 2 vehicles in there underwater as we speak. As you can see, the yard's sitting full of all these things that we have moved. We've really hustled.
Combs has been up to his neck in water, still trying to get his things and help his daughter out, whose home is just right behind his.
Well, this is a mobile home here. It is on block foundation, of course, and anchored appropriately as it should be. But I can just glancing over that home, I can tell you now that this flood is at least 16 inches higher than it was in March the 1st.
But the water is rising fast.
About 2 o'clock, and we're still getting about 6 inches raising per hour. So we're really not done yet. When rest assured, this is a record flood.
Combs says he's lived in this home since 1981. He's dealt with severe flooding in 1984 and in 2021, but says he's never seen water come up this quickly.
Very, very unusual. You'd have this kind of flood water on this river this close together. Tells me our weather patterns have changed tremendously.
That was Danielle Miskell reporting. Emergency rescue crews are now driving school buses down that highway to pick up families who have lost their homes and drive them to shelters, one of them being Lee's College campus.
A reminder, the governor's office organizing a way for people to help the Kentuckians impacted by the flooding. The website is teamEKYFloodReliefFund.ky.gov. We have that web address and more information about how you can help inside this story on the Fox 56 News app.
Stay with us for 5 things to know before you go to bed.
Including the benefits of doing chores, why it may be good for you to pick up a broom or hoe the garden.
And over 20,000 people still without power. The counties that top the list, Letcher, as well as Knott and Perry County. So about 20,000 in all concentrated in eastern Kentucky. Meanwhile, we've got scattered flash flooding still expected. Some areas in red include Hazard and Pikeville going into tomorrow. We've got more updates after the break.
You're watching Fox 56 News. Our home, your news.
I want to find a way to help people, and I want to build something special here. I'm going to come to News Nation. I think we need insurgent media. I think we need outlets that aren't fringe and just trying to fill their pockets. I'm going to go where the news is, and I'm going to try very hard to be fair.
Come one, come all. Morning in America and Rush Hour are taking you to state fairs across America live. The sights, the sounds, from right in the middle of the action. Fridays at the fair, starting this Friday in Indiana, only on News Nation.
Your signature says a lot about you. Now at Members Heritage Credit Union, it's all you need to get approved for a loan. Apply for a Members Heritage Signature loan today. You can borrow as little as $500 with no collateral needed, and you could win $250. Members Heritage Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Hit a grand slam at Don Franklin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. During the Make This the Summer event, get 0% for 36 months on select 2022 Jeep models, or drive away in the all-new 22 Ram 1500, as low as $39,850. Don Franklin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Kentucky's #1 Ram dealer.
Real people, real reviews.
Burke had a large variety of styles and colors of sofas. The employees at Burke Furniture made furniture buying and delivery such an easy experience.
The staff is very professional, friendly, and helpful. Burke is the only furniture store I trust.
Hundreds of 5-star ratings on Google and Facebook can't be wrong. 5-star reviews on our selection, on our prices, on our service. So just know, when you come to Burke Furniture, it's our goal to earn your 5-star rating.
Cronin Hyundai has an epic summer hit for you. Trade in your old gas guzzler for a fuel-efficient new Hyundai today. Just scan the QR code on the screen to see the value of your trade instantly. Don't just dream it, drive it. Only at Cronin Hyundai.
The experts at Tin Man Metals have you covered. Our top-grade products come in all sizes, and our highly trained team will be there with you every step of the way. We sell materials to all contractors, resellers, and homeowners for do-it-yourself projects. Tin Man Metals, serving all of Kentucky and surrounding states.
Safe Auto?
Some things aren't worth putting off, like your car insurance. Good thing we're here to remind you.
The bond between twins is a close one.
Would you like me to introduce you to algebra? Al who? Oh boy.
Young Sheldon, next at 11 on Fox 56. Judge Judy, weekdays at 5.
Hit a grand slam at Don Franklin Somerset Kia. Lease the all-new 22 Kia Forte for only $209 per month for 36 months, $27.99 due at signing. Or lease the all-new 2023 Kia Soul LX for only $239 per month for 36 months, $27.99 due at signing. Hurry in today to Don Franklin Somerset Kia.
Your signature says a lot about you. Now at Members Heritage Credit Union, it's all you need to get approved for a loan. Apply for a Members Heritage Signature loan today. You can borrow as little as $500 with no collateral needed, and you could win $250. Members Heritage Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
A worker shortage, the benefits of doing chores, and a new look for a soft drink.
Here are 5 things to know before you go to bed. The hotel industry is struggling with an ongoing worker shortage. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics says hundreds of thousands of hotel workers have left since the pandemic. A recent survey found 97% of hotel respondents were dealing with staffing shortages. They said housekeeping was the most critical need. Hotels are raising pay and boosting benefits to keep up.
Senior citizens living alone are struggling to make ends meet. The Elder Index from the University of Massachusetts says 54% of older women living alone are struggling financially, and 45% of men are in the same situation. The index says older adults need more than $27,000 a year for expenses.
A new study says doing chores around the house can help the elderly battle back against an aging disease. Researchers in China say a lifestyle of chores, such as gardening, cooking, washing dishes, or other chore activities can cut Alzheimer's risks by more than 20%.
A dinosaur skeleton sells for more than $6 million at auction. The skeleton is of a dinosaur called the Gorgosaurus. It's about 10 feet tall and 22 feet long and was discovered in Montana. It was one of the few dinosaur skeletons available for private ownership.
Sprite is saying farewell to its iconic green bottles in an effort to become more environmentally friendly. The new look will take effect starting August 1st. Green bottles are recyclable, but have to be separated from clear ones. The new clear Sprite bottles will make recycling easier. There you go, 5 things to know before you go to bed.
Now, your forecast from Fox 56 News, the weather authority.
Well, more rain is on the way. It's already here in many cases as it's sliding across central Kentucky, but there's a medium chance you get a 60-mile-an-hour wind gust tomorrow, maybe an isolated severe storm. The chance for tornadoes very low, hardly worth mentioning. But there's periods of heavy rain. That's a high chance. And because the rain has already been extreme, we could say it's going to only add insult upon injury with more localized flooding. Look at these amounts again. We're talking places like Perry, Leslie County, Knott County, Clay County, and Lee County, just to name a few. 6 to 12 inches of rain. Where does it go? Well, it's going to cause more problems. And there's more rain approaching Richmond and McKee at this hour. So where do you think it's going to move? It's going to move toward Jackson. It's going to move toward Hazard, where they don't need any more rain. So we mentioned this last night. I've mentioned this a couple of nights in the past because the flooding safety tips, turn around, don't drown. You might be familiar with the road. Like, I grew up on this road. I know what it's like. You may not know if the road's been compromised. There could be a sinkhole. There could be a lot more deeper water than you even imagine. So it's always best to turn around, don't drown. It only takes 6 inches of rushing water to sweep a person off their feet, but 12 inches of water can take a car SUV and sweep you away. We don't want that to happen. Obviously, the future rain totals is part of the story. About a half inch to an inch, I think, is going to be on average that we see in the future tonight, tomorrow. But there could be some yellow areas that's over 3 inches. Maybe that little red spot west of Monticello could be more than 3 or 4 inches. So it can also cause some real headaches because it could exceed your expectation or even mine because it's so humid. 78 in Lexington, 77 in Jackson, and 75 in Hazard. Tomorrow, we'll go from 80 to 40 to 20. The chance of precipitation will drop as the day wears on. So if you get through tonight or tomorrow morning, you may see some vast improvement. Highs around 83 degrees for your Friday. Here's what it's going to look like. It even shows this rain a little slower getting in here, but once it's here, there's 5 o'clock in the morning. And when you get reinforcements into Hazard, London, Williamsburg, and Pikeville and Jackson, that's about midday. So midday, the worst of it's already moved to the south and east where they don't want the rain. Then by 5 o'clock, there could be some residual pop-up showers and storms that might be on the strong side. We move into tomorrow night. We'll see some clearing. That's good. And then Saturday is going to be vastly improved. I think you're going to like the way Saturday looks, given the fact there's no rain in that forecast now for Saturday itself. So let's get to the forecast itself. We go talking about tonight's low, about 69. Flooding possible. That's the headline. More flooding. You said we've already had it. More is coming. Be diligent. Keep informed because rising water can cause problems. 80% chance of rain tonight. We'll go a 60% during day tomorrow as 83. It's about as high as I think we'll go. Some of those storms may be strong. West winds 5 to 10. 83 Lexington, 80 in Mount Sterling, about 80 there in Jackson. So we're looking at a Fox 56 7-day forecast. As we look outside our window, obviously the streets are wet now again. Sun and clouds are Saturday at 84, and then temperatures warming back up into the low 90s by mid next week. We've got sports to talk about. Let's get back to Mitch.
All right, coming up next, we are going to be talking about a Lexington Catholic bowler who's rolled past adversity into a big weekend in California. The 10th frame is up next.
Tomorrow, wake up with the Fox 56 Morning News, the only news that stays local from 5 to 9.
Judge Judy, weekdays at 5.
Set your sights on the annual Bluegrass Crime Stoppers Shootout.
Test your aim Saturday, August 20th at the Lexington Police Range. Shooters of all skill levels are invited to participate.
Thank you for supporting the Bluegrass Crime Stoppers Shootout and keeping Central Kentucky safe.
Sponsored by Fox 56 and 46 Solutions.
Honda is the most fuel-efficient automaker in America. That means you get more miles per gallon with Honda. Save at the pump with up to 55 MPGs for Honda cars and SUVs. Search your local Honda dealer today.
Your HVAC system runs every day and needs proper care to maintain peak performance. Call today to sign up for the ADA Assurance Program for routine maintenance and other perks, which will save you even more money.
When my family opened the first Culver's in Sauk City, Wisconsin, you know what we did? We gave it our all, making sure everyone felt welcome, sharing our favorite foods from around the state, like butter burgers and fresh frozen custard, greeting every guest with all our heart, crafting each meal with care. Leaving a smile makes everything taste better. And it's a tradition we bring with us yet today, from our hometown to yours. Welcome to Delicious.
Hit a grand slam at Don Franklin Ford. Drive away today in the all-new Ford F-150 XL Super Crew as low as $47,530, or the all-new 22 Expedition XL as low as $55,620. Start your travels today at Don Franklin Ford.
At Kroger, we believe local produce shouldn't be hard to find. That's why we work with local farms right in our own backyard to bring you fresher than fresh produce.
You got everything I need. You're like medicine to me. Oh, baby, you.
Because shopping for local produce should be as easy as shopping at your local Kroger. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Now's the time to invest with the best. Honda cars have been awarded with the best resale value. This means Hondas retain their value better than 95% of other models. And you get more for your Honda trade-in. Buying a Honda could be better than investing in stocks or gold. Search your local Honda dealer today.
The bond between twins is a close one.
Would you like me to introduce you to algebra? Aldo, oh boy.
Young Sheldon, next at 11 on Fox 56.
Now, Fox 56 Sports, sponsored by Arby's.
Tomorrow in California begins a weekend that means the world to many across the country. The Donate Life Transplant Games are taking place in San Diego, and one of Lexington's finest bowlers is set to compete. But Maddie Blankenship's drive to defy the odds didn't come from the local lanes. It's a mentality she's developed pretty much since birth. Inside this Lexington bowling alley, pins collide thousands of times a day. Some roll for fun. Some roll for glory. For Maddie Blankenship, it's about those two things, along with proving that she's able. Of course to doubters, but mainly to herself.
People are going to put you down. They're going to say negative things about you, and they're not always going to be nice. But no matter what, if you believe in yourself and you stay positive, that's the main goal.
Blankenship bowls at Lexington Catholic and sees herself bowling at the collegiate level. That's the future. Her past is why she'll be in San Diego this weekend.
If you look at it as why me, then you get stuck in this situation where you're always sad and you never really want to do anything. But if you look at it as it's a positive for yourself and you try to share it with everyone around you, then maybe you might reach someone else who's struggling and who's going through something similar.
At 3 months old, doctors told Maddie's family that she needed a liver transplant. She found a donor in none other than her uncle, who volunteered when he heard that his niece was in need.
I've lived with this my whole life, and I know some kids who are struggling because they just found out about having a transplant, and I'm trying to help them get through that, because it's a hard process to go through, and it's scary. Even now, for me, it's a scary process.
Maddie and her family are on the road trip of a lifetime this weekend. What once was a setback is now a marker of progress. Maddie still can't fly on planes because of her immune system, but sees this weekend as a takeoff.
This is something I really want to improve and go forward with. Not even just like when I graduate from high school and go into college, but maybe even make a living out of, because there are ways you can do that.
In the way she was bowling, I'm pretty sure she'll do that. She's defied the odds to this point. But you saw she was at Cadillac Ranch. She was just really excited to, go across the country and hit these landmarks and stuff like that. So big weekend starting tomorrow in San Diego.
Well, good luck to her. That's a terrific story.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mitch.
Best of luck.
A lot of people are watching the forecast tonight and unfortunately may not be getting the news they want. Right, David?
Yes, absolutely. We've got some heavy rains right now centered around Berea in Madison County, south of Richmond. Take a look. Those are the areas in red. We're getting rain in Lexington here in Fayette County, but it may not be as intense as it is in Madison County. And guess where all that's going? It's heading to the east. It's heading to Jackson. It's heading to Hazard. It's heading toward Pikeville in places that don't need it. Not one bit. We're under a flood watch in Fayette County till 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. But take a look. It's rainy across Chevy Chase Plaza outside our studio. Sun and clouds, though, Saturday. And then more showers and storms come in Sunday and Monday. And then we're back into the summer pattern in the low 90s by mid-time next week. So we'll be keeping an eye on that very closely. Let's get back to you, Marvin and Imani.
All right. And of course, our morning team will be on top of that starting at 5 a.m.
Yep. That does it here for us. Thank you for watching.
Have a good night.